Yeah. uh-huh. Yeah. Shit. Grams leaders CC's, pounds. Close gap, close call, close encounter, close up, pounds of leaders of grams, get your dosed up, cut this up, host up, and get dosed up. This for them voted like the movie, make the most of. Monday night at 8, I can't wait to set you straight. These opinions and debates, for them folk that can't relate. I gotta elevate your mind through these signs of the time. Dishing out that medication for that deaf, dumb, and blind. And I ain't hard to find, you can catch me in them trenches. I drew the groundwork and I ain't waiting on no sense. I be touching on them topics politicians fail to mention. And I don't vote for nobody that ain't got good intentions. I'm relentless for my people and I'm here to make a change. I got that true serum hooked directly to your veins. Hey, this is for my people, tune in, catch a close up, close up, close up, a close up, grams of it, tune in, leaders of it, close up, pounds of it. Pounds of it, yeah, grams of it, liters of pounds, get your dosed up, dosed up, dosed up, dosed up, dosed up, dosed up.
Yeah. Alright. What's happening, y'all? I'm Shooter, aka Dose. It's Monday night. They go them sound effects. 8 o'clock. We back at it again. My partner Mitch had to step out tonight, handle a little bit of business. One of them work shifts and schedule changes on us, but what I'm saying, he's here in spirit.
Shout out, Mitch.
Might end up, tapping in on us. And I got a partner in here with me today. He's really saying he want to observe, but I think he gonna drop some wisdom, because we've sat back and had plenty talks, but it's my partner Yohanse. He from the A.
Appreciate it, bro.
Alright. Y'all can't see him on my live, but you'll be able to see him on YouTube. You know what I'm saying? And of course, we're gonna take them pics like we usually do, so my folks will be able to see what he look like.
Right.
Alright, now, so we're gonna recap everybody up in here. But mine, as a matter of fact, I'm gonna do mine last.
Okay.
Yeah, because it's gonna take a little minute with that.
Okay.
So Hanse, little weekend recap. Did you do anything, special, or how'd you spend your weekend this weekend?
Man, I just kicked it with my daughter, bro.
Okay, that's awesome.
We didn't do a whole lot. We just chilled out this weekend.
Okay.
Nothing major though.
Okay, how old is she?
She 5.
Okay, all right. So it was a lot of laughing and smiling going on.
Always.
I already know how that goes. Woke you up early, didn't she?
You know what? She kind of a late sleeper, bro.
Oh, damn.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. On the weekend, she be kind of up late, so she get up late.
Okay.
But
nothing wrong with that.
Nothing wrong with that.
Get you a little extra sleep on in,
Yeah.
Mine used to wake me up, so around 7 something.
Around 7.
Yeah, right when them cartoons gonna be kicking in. So I was hot diggity dogging with her, you know what I'm saying?
Time for cartoons and food,
right? Yeah, of course. Breakfast, you know what I'm saying? I had to make them homemade French toast. Maybe some turkey bacon, some eggs, something like that. Yeah. Juice, whatever. But
breakfast always on the menu.
Always. And I'm talking about, man, the simplest things to make just be making them all happy.
Right. That's true. That's true.
Like,
right.
Okay. And it only take like what, 2 little pieces of bread?
Yeah.
Like that, you know what I'm saying? So
That's right.
So how'd you spend your weekend?
Laundry. I did laundry.
Hey, funny you said that.
Because I'm
gonna get on that too.
I do a little laundry. Other than that, I didn't do much anything else. Slick still healing from her back surgery, so we didn't really do much. So it just chilled out, did laundry. That's about it.
Okay. So, all right, now, funny because you said laundry. So I did a little laundry over the weekend too. But see, like the thing is, when I do laundry now, while I got the spin cycle going, I try to exercise a little bit down there, and then when I throw them in the dryer, I try to exercise down in my basement. So at least I'm getting something done, within that time period of being down there, like just, washing clothes. I could go upstairs and try to watch a movie or something or do whatever, but now I take that time to do that.
Okay.
And make sure I get something in.
So you're doing double work. You're doing
Yeah,
You
working
doing
out
double
while
work.
that going. Yep.
Okay,
Now
okay.
sometimes I ain't gonna lie, man. Shoot, you know I'm old now, so I might run upstairs before that whole spin cycle over with. But you can get a lot done while
yeah.
that's, and then you know what I'm saying. Whatever I don't feel like I hit while it was washing, I
Mhm.
get when it's drying.
Well,
But you know,
the new watches tell you how much time you got too now, so it's like you put
see.
a good load in there, and be like heavy
Mhm.
duty, be like, oh, I got an hour, 16 minutes.
Whoa. Yeah, well, that's a pretty good workout right there.
Yeah,
Then
yeah,
I ain't
yeah.
gonna double tap then
Yeah,
with the
yeah.
drying. I'm like, I'm through with it. If that's the case.
Well,
You
if you
know.
get the drying and the washing set about the same, about an hour and 10 minutes for drying, and about an hour 16 minutes for washing.
See, yeah. You know, and I said that because I'm still going on with my challenge. You know what I'm saying? Like I say, that Super Bowl challenge ain't stopping till Super Bowl next year.
Right?
And I'm already feeling the results, like seeing the results. So I ain't finna stop. And I got actually a couple people that's kind of interested. You know what I'm saying? And either joining at Planet Fitness and doing something, or on the side at the crib with me.
But what the Super Bowl got to do with what's the?
Okay, so basically, I was like this. The thing is it's really a length of time, and it's a lot of things that we'll take the time to drink and eat, all these things that get us out of shape. A lot of us will sit down, we might actually have a gut, and we watching athletes that are actually kind of in shape and making money for what they do at the Super Bowl. It's like a big event. Everybody want to get up to do that, but you don't want to get up to exercise and stuff like that. So I'm kind of like doing it like that. Like, and then also I was like, hey, if I take this as, like I say, a timestamp, and then I work out until the next Super Bowl, that's really just a year.
Oh, yeah.
You see what I'm saying? So that's the goal for me to do. So I just said the Super Bowl challenge. Some people have a challenge, and the challenge might be you do something for a week or for 30 days. You see what I'm saying? So no, I just said Super Bowl challenge. So meaning from one Super Bowl to the next. Simple as that. Exercise.
Right.
Now, you ain't necessarily got to train like I'm doing, like the actual athletes, but at least get something done. Do some cardio, do some sit-ups, some push-ups, something. You know what I'm saying? Pick up a weight or two.
Tell them, how do you keep up with, like, say if I want to join and I'm working out here and exercising here, how do we keep up with the challenge as far as each other? Like, I'm not going, like, I'm not, because we live in separate different areas. Yeah. But I want to be a part of your challenge, and I'm like, I'm saying to myself, well, how do we keep each other motivated? Because if he's in Planet Fitness, throwing around truck tires and whatever he's doing, the Iron Man challenge, basically, and I'm over here riding this bike. How do we keep our progress together?
Here's the thing. Well, what I'm getting ready to start doing, like I said, I just really, at my 6-month mark, I'm going to start doing little videos.
Okay.
And I'm going to shoot them videos, first of all, to my homeboys, you know what I'm saying? And then I'm going to post them. So pretty much people can see what's going on, and you can do some of these things if you want to or you don't. My thing is, the join, you basically got to build a body. I don't necessarily care how you do it, because that's you.
Okay.
You see what I'm saying? I'm doing mine my particular way, but I know, like I say, mine is extreme. Some people may have injuries. Some people may have, just particular exercises that they're just not comfortable doing. And I don't want to force what I got going on someone to make them not want to, you know what I'm saying, work out or whatever, or exercise. Like, we done broke this thing down to, you got bodybuilding, you got exercising, and you got working out and training. They're different things. You see what I'm saying? Some people might want to just do isometrics. Some people might just want to do like calisthenics type, aerobic type, yoga type things. All of that to me is welcome, you know what I'm saying? Because it ain't no joke.
So, okay, I guess my question was, like, say if you decide to lift weights today, but all I got is the exercise bike. How do you and I keep each other motivated? Because we're actually working on two different things. You might be lifting 300 pounds 10 times,
So to keep you motivated, one, I'd be like, okay, if you got some free time, why don't you get up? I'll actually come to you with my weights. You see what I'm saying? If not that, then what I'll do is I'll say, bruh, you got some arms, you got legs, you can do push-ups, you can do burpees, you can do sit-ups. You can do so many different variations of push-ups that you start, you know what I'm saying? You'll start seeing it and feeling it, the striations and all of that. Or get books or something and just hold them out like this for a while. You know what I'm saying? Start doing resistance type exercises. Go against the grain with it, and you'll start pumping the blood flow to your muscles.
Okay, because like when you ride bikes, like when you ride the treadmill and stuff.
Mhm.
The way that some people, like, say if I'm riding treadmill, you ride treadmill, what we do is we'll take a picture of how many miles we rode and send it to each other.
Oh, so you want proof?
Yeah,
so here's
yeah,
the thing.
yeah.
Here's the thing.
We
Like
gotta
I'm
have
picking.
proof in
No,
the-
no, no. I pick
Yeah.
people that you can lie all you want. I'ma know when I see you.
Okay.
Like you gonna start. You can see my progress.
Okay.
So I mean, it ain't no. That's what I'm saying. Like, man, it's on you whether you want to do this. I can't make you do this. I can only encourage you.
Right.
Now, like I say, the challenge ain't necessarily me, like, what you got going on like this. The challenge is for you to be able to get up and do it and tell me you did it. And then I'm like, oh, yeah, I did mine too. And then if I'm like, man, I'm going to be honest with you now. I fell off today. And you're like, hey, man, get back on it. Or don't miss 2 days in a row. That's what I'm talking about, challenge right there, like encouraging people.
Okay.
Because this people, man, there's a lot of people go to the gym and don't really get nothing accomplished. They can do the shit at home because they really not either training properly or they're just there just to kind of like be in the presence, just to say that they're going.
Okay.
And I've seen people go to the gym for a year straight and look the exact same.
Okay.
That ain't finna happen with me.
Ah.
That ain't happening.
Look
I'm
exactly
already in
the
there a
same.
month strong, you know what I'm saying?
Well, some
And-
people go to swim. Some people just go for, say go to do laps in the pool.
Not that. Hey, it could be therapy, therapeutic. You see what I'm
Right,
saying?
right.
Rehab. I respect that.
Okay.
If you go, you get respect. Just do some things while you there. You see what I'm
Okay.
saying? Like, I'm not gauging you on that.
Okay.
The whole point is the whole challenge is do the shit for a year though.
Okay.
Yeah, you see what I'm
Okay.
saying? If you gon' pussyfoot, then pussyfoot for a year, bro. Just get on in there, you know what I'm saying? And do the minimum, but do it for a year.
Okay. How was your weekend?
Yeah. All right. So here we go with some shout outs. You know what I'm saying?
Mhm.
Shout out to Poetic Stage. You know what I'm saying? In truth, that's pretty much the people that I'm going to be, or the conglomerate that I'm going to be working with as far as this skit / what we say kind of spoken word.
Okay.
We got coming up. It'll be basically April 23rd though, so we got some time, and we actually going to promote that.
Okay.
And it's going to be at this like bar
Okay.
or you know what I'm saying, or lounge pretty much near Stonecrest called Vibes.
Okay.
So I went to a rehearsal,
Okay.
and since we talking about character, you know what I'm saying, tonight I gotta be a character in this particular skit.
Okay.
And so this dude is supposed to be, I ain't gonna give it all away,
Okay.
but I will say this dude, the way he talks to women is nothing like what I would say.
Okay.
And so, but that's one thing about acting or becoming a character. Sometimes, you know what I'm saying, you got to step outside your little zone and do whatever. And they wrote that for me, by the way.
Oh, they wrote it.
Yeah, and it rhymes.
Okay.
So I'm like, interesting.
Okay.
I wanted to like ad-lib it some and put the sauce on it, you know what I'm saying? But I'm like, nah, I want to do what they got me here for this time. You see what I'm saying? Because I want to act right. Go ahead and get in their good graces because I want more roles. more
Okay.
parts.
You want to be able to do it again?
Yeah,
Okay.
I surely do. I enjoyed myself, man. You know what I'm saying? Meeting new people once again.
Right.
And then your boy that came through, D Hill, was here though.
Oh, he
He was there. Yeah,
Okay,
yeah.
okay.
Yeah, he actually put me onto this.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Like I say, the I ain't gonna necessarily say what the characters, like what he's supposed to be and all that, but I look the part, but what he's saying I wouldn't say.
Right.
But I fit what they wanted. So
Okay.
that's awesome.
Hey, that's
dope.
all it takes sometimes.
Yeah, and I'm about to
Just to
start
be-
trying to look and fit many other parts too.
Right.
You know,
right.
Justin Jackson gonna crank it up some soon too. Like that's coming, bruh.
Mhm.
And I like that. When that's coming, they like, wait, we need account numbers.
Mhm.
We got some paperwork.
Yeah.
We got some 1099s coming.
Okay,
That's my
okay.
language. I can speak that. I know what I know.
That's called check cashing.
I know what that mean. That mean the work you
called
putting in
deposits.
starting to come. It's starting to show. You know, it's
That's
starting to
when
pay
the
off.
deposits
Them
show up,
dividends,
right?
yeah. So with that, you know, I can show some stubs and things to get some people to want to go ahead and get behind this camera with me, bro. I'm telling you, you know, I'm
Okay.
producing. Let's do this thing.
Okay.
So, but you know, with character, because that is the topic that we on.
Right.
We're gonna bounce it back and forth. You know what I'm saying? I'll do some like I was saying, movie character type things, comic book character type things, heroes or villains. You got the pessimist or the optimist. You got the antagonist and protagonist. All right, but basically, when it comes to character, do we know our flaws? And will you admit your flaws? And will you work on your flaws?
I work on mine all the time, and I know mine.
Mm-hmm.
But and I'll admit them. You know, I'm petty. I hold grudges for a long time.
Okay.
I never forget. I never forget, and I don't trust anyone. Those are three. And I mean, I don't.
You say you don't trust anybody?
Anybody.
So
you could be my best friend. We could be talking about something, and I'm trying to figure out what's the angle. What's your angle on this?
Well,
I'm just 100% honest.
What experience did you have to make you that way?
There you go.
Well, you know, I can say when I was married, that kind of got me that way a little bit. But I've always ran into people that may have not thought that they had an angle, but they turned out to have one. So let's put it this way: I may have experienced something where I didn't trust a person, but the person who I've experienced it with may have not thought that was the case. You get what I'm saying?
So they were kind of oblivious to it?
Right, they were oblivious to it. So I can't say they did it on purpose. Because for one, I'm always looking for it. I'm always expecting it. And when it don't happen, which is very rarely, then I'm surprised. But I'm always expecting something. I'm always expecting some BS to come out of this whole situation. It's just the way it is. It may not. It's nobody's fault but my own. But I do that because I continue to protect myself with that. So that's some of my flaws. You know, me being petty is just me being petty. I'm just petty. You hit me, I'm gonna hit you back. It's just you know, bass one hit my hand type. I'm just petty like that, especially on social media. I'm real petty on social media, and I try to stay off of that and stop from being petty. But I'm a real petty person on social media.
Okay, so you admitted flaws. I mean, you know, strengths too. We all got strengths though.
Slick say, what is the guest name and his IG?
Your name?
Yohance Trillion. YOHANCE Trillion.
That's your Instagram? Or?
Yeah.
Okay.
I like that trillion. You know
trillion.
$1 system. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Right.
That's what we all need,
man.
Hey, man, look. And so all right, like I was saying, strengths. I think it's important that the strengths, the characteristics that we have that are our strengths should be shared. You know what I'm saying? Because our flaws are definitely going to be noticed more than likely.
But what's your flaws? What do you think your flaws are?
My flaws, man, like sometimes I don't want to say my anger.
Okay.
But it's more because it's compassion. Like it'll be angry because it's like, dude, I wouldn't do you like that.
Or I would expect more from you.
Yeah, but I've learned to not be disappointed with it that much anymore. Procrastination used to be one of my flaws.
Do you think it's anger? Let's go back there. The way you're saying, I don't think it's anger. I think it's disappointment.
Yeah, I'll say that. I say because disappointment damn near depressed me.
I think it's hurt from disappointment because you expected more out of that person, and then when they do you wrong, you're like, man.
See, here's the thing.
Then you get angry, I guess.
Here's the thing. I'm the kind of person, man, I'm not gonna bother you, right?
Okay.
So if you rub me the wrong way, and I can't get rid of you, and I can't solve the situation, I'm gonna try to smash the situation.
Okay.
Like, seriously.
Okay.
Like, and a lot of the times, man, I have to think, is it worth it?
Right.
Because, and yeah, it'd be worth it to me. But I'm like, how far do I want to take it?
Right.
And it might be worth it to me, but they still might not even get the lesson after what I do to them.
Okay.
So I let it ride a lot. But a lot of these times it'll be in situations where I already know there's going to be a consequence that I don't want. You see what I'm saying? I don't want to trade, you know what I'm saying, what I got going on just to prove a point to somebody. You shouldn't have done that, and I don't like how you doing it.
Okay. I get that.
But other than that, I say one of my flaws would be I sacrifice too much. Like, really. Meaning I'll sacrifice for myself to help the next person. And then I'm like, now I need help.
Right.
And it's hard not to.
So that's a flaw? Or
yeah, it's a flaw when you in need. You see what I'm saying? And your shit start backfiring on you.
like an example.
Because a flaw to me can become a weakness. So if anything that I'm doing that may put you forward but put me backwards, I'm weak with that. I need to be balanced. So now what I do, rather than necessarily sacrifice, I'm gonna give somebody the chance or opportunity to invest in themselves. Like, meaning buy into what I got going on rather than me just always sponsoring or supporting or me putting down. Nigga, you put down too, basically.
I don't know if that's a flaw. I don't think that's a flaw.
I think it is, man, when it's not helping me.
So like
it's
they
helping
don't
you.
come back to you in any type of way.
I mean,
Karma repeats. Karma comes back bad or good.
I don't know, because let's just say, and I'm glad you asked me that, but I think it doesn't come back sometimes because I still have dues I gotta pay from karma that I've done. It's like backed up karma. So it's like, okay, boom, we'll knock that off. This won't happen to you. I guess I'll, you know what I'm saying, won't nothing necessarily bad happen, but I'm like, I gotta struggle and shit to get to the next, you know, I don't want that struggle if I don't have to. Like, just throw the flag down. What up, Furious?
I think you've been a giving person that's not necessarily a flaw. I think the people who take advantage of the giving is where the flaw comes in at. You get what I'm saying? Because you can't. I don't think you can correct giving because that's just something that you do. You know, like your anger you could correct, but giving I don't think is something because that's basically what you're saying. You always the one who's giving, making sure people are good, and you don't necessarily get that reciprocated. But I don't necessarily think that's a flaw because I don't feel like that's something that you have to repair. That's just something that's something.
I need to stop doing it though.
That's definitely no, because there's not a lot of people in the world that give that's willing to give of themselves to help the next person. So I don't know if that's something that you need to stop doing. Maybe you need to. Maybe you need to view who you're giving to a little bit, give a little bit more scrutiny. But other than that, I don't think. I mean, what you think?
I would definitely think it's got to come back to you in some type of way, in a positive way. You know what I mean? I don't know if you recognizing it, but
well, I look at it like me getting up and having the ability to do it is kind of the comeback. You know what I'm saying? Like, everybody doesn't have the opportunity to have a job. Everybody ain't got, you know what I'm saying, extra money to go train after they work, you know what I'm saying, and do a podcast and things like that. So that's kind of my gift, me being able to do it. I'm literally having to rehab and see my dad have to go to therapy for things that he used to could do. So I'm always thankful, you know what I'm saying, for that. So
okay.
But do our past experience help us develop character as well as our present experiences?
He gotta give us his flaws.
Okay. Oh, you want it? Okay.
He on the couch, don't you know how we do it?
All right.
He on the couch with a microphone in his face. He gotta be a part of this.
I thought he said I had a list. I'm gonna say, damn, bro.
Man, flaws. One thing that come to mind, my mouth can definitely get away from me sometimes, and like the heat of a moment. You know what I mean? And I've definitely learned you can say some things you really just can't take back. You can apologize, but it's out there. So that's definitely something I want to work on. So.
Just the one.
I mean, that's just off top. But, you know, character is important to me. So I'm 48 years old. So I'm been striving for a minute trying to be like solid. And that's something I always wanted to be. So, you know, I'm just chiseling away.
Yeah, I get it. I'm 54. I'm still chiseling.
Right.
Yeah. Which is because your present experience are going to build your character too. And you're always learning, and learning is going to add something to that character that you have.
Most definitely.
But now we're already talking about character, but I would like to give the definition of it.
Okay.
I mean, it's like it's mental and moral qualities which are distinctive to an individual. So that's each and every one of us. So we're going to have some obviously different characteristics to a degree. Now, if you don't necessarily know what the mental qualities are, I wrote them down too, because it's like, or the definition of mental qualities is like cognitive and emotional attributes that contribute to a person's well-being and effectiveness, including emotional intelligence, resilience, empathy, and optimism. So damn, what's dope about this is your character is actually supposed to be moralistic or positive from what the definition of a character is. Then it's the moral qualities, because it also has mental and moral qualities. So moral qualities, obviously, like virtues that encompass character traits that are considered ethically positive, which we just talked about, and desirable, such as honesty, fairness, compassion, responsibility, and integrity. So now, you know what I'm saying, that we've established what character is. It's a lot of questions I have about what I see that's going on that you can pinpoint character-wise. Like, one of the questions I would have is like, what about our character or about us makes us want to watch some of like the same negative entertainment? Questions like these, you see what I'm saying? If we get to the bottom of this, maybe we can actually change some of our character, or watch what we want to be. You see what I'm saying? Create the art or create the type of entertainment that we're actually supposed to be if we're going by character.
Okay.
All these characters that we see in our entertainment, a lot of them are negative. Because, or if you're looking at, let's say, the news with propaganda, what they're going to put up there, the negative first. So you see negative people, but the people are in news is like a story. You see what I'm saying? Right. So nowadays we are looking at people's net worth or their materials or how much they have or their money to judge them by their character, as opposed to what they actually did to get it, or who they actually are, you know what I'm saying, with this money. What about our character makes us want to harm each other? Because if you're looking at, we'll just say, rap music right about now, man, all you seeing and all that's trending is people harming each other, unaliving each other, getting into beef and smoke over what?
Do you think, because you know a lot of those rappers and entertainers are necessarily not living the life that they portray in the music, so they're just giving you a character.
I think times are
changing now. Yeah, it started changing.
These young brothers living their life like for real.
Yeah. They, I mean, really, not only are they living it, but they're going live with it.
Yeah.
So, like, I see all these things on my feed, and I'm like, man, all right. When you start talking about character, it's a lot of things going on. It's like, okay, you got the two people fighting each other, right? So what kind of character traits they got? They gone, they already in it. Then you got the bystanders. If they rooting it on, what kind of characteristics you got? Then you got the person filming it. So it's like, damn, does anybody got morals to be like, man, I don't even want to be a part of this. Let's stop this. Let's do something positive. Why y'all even going at it? I mean, there's some things that I be seeing that I don't even really want to say, because I don't want to get us either flagged. Or you see what I'm saying? I don't even know how to say it.
Get no videos.
Yeah, you see what I'm saying? But it be on the time. Actually,
y'all cuss on here?
Yeah, we
cuss, you know what I'm saying? But there's certain words we ain't finna say.
I got you.
But
unalived and
all this other kind of stuff. But you know, I saw this young lady running with a gotcha now, and she was a gotcha now.
Knickknacks.
Yeah, a little knickknack. You know what I'm saying? She had that in her hand. You know what I'm saying?
The pyum pyum.
The pyum pyum. She had one of them. You know what I'm saying?
Okay.
You trying to figure it out.
And it was all over a dude, right? And her friend was like saying her name, like pom poms and everything, till the thing went off.
Right.
And then next thing you know, it's and now the severity of it is happening.
Right.
But my thing is, people are so easy to jump out of any kind of character that they had that might be like halfway sane or sensible or calm, shall we say, and just go straight to.
You know, that's a good point you just made. A lot of people will let other people take them out of their character. 100%. Like, for no reason. And then when they see the camera rolling, the film, when they see the phone coming, it's like the character gets more aggressive because they don't want to be seen on film, especially on social media, whatever, as being weak. You know what I'm saying? That's why I think a lot of times people are crashing out a lot more because they know they know somebody might be recording. So they can't be seen as weak in some cases, that's a bad character.
But what about being seen as smart?
Ain't nobody trying to do that, bro. Let me tell you something.
Or seen as somebody, you know what I'm saying, that actually slick enough, elusive enough skillful enough to you know what I'm saying, downplay a lot of this.
I'm gonna give you a challenge. On your social media, on Facebook or Instagram, put up 2 or 3 videos of bullshit, and then put up 2 or 3 videos of books that you've read and see which one gets the most.
Hey, speaking of books, speaking of books, I found a book the other day, sitting on the bench. I forgot the name of it. I actually took a picture of it. Anyway, I'm about to start reading it. It kind of lost my interest when one of the characters' name was Betsy Clark. But I'm like, you know what? I'm going to go ahead and read this because I found it, and it's got to be a message in here somewhere.
Right.
But yeah, you said books, so, I mean, hey, anyway, you just triggered something. All right, as far as character then, well, what about our characters make us always want to relate to what's cool or what's street? You see what I'm saying? Over maybe what's educational or what's just considered to be regular. You know what I'm saying? You ain't always got to be extra. You ain't always got to flex. You ain't always got to stunt. You ain't always got to be the loudest person in the room, the strongest person in the room, the most machoist, or the thuggest, or whatever it is. Why do we have to always necessarily have that trait to us or portray that? Not all of us, because obviously we're growing out of this. But you know what I'm saying?
I think
for
a
the
lot
ones
of
that it
it's
applies
insecurity,
to.
bro. A lot of people insecure. And
So that's actually a character trait, but it's considered to be one of the negatives. I do have positive and negative ones that I'll speak on a little bit coming up, but glad you mentioned that right there.
I think he's right. Security plays a big role in a lot of this stuff that we talking about.
What these niggas gonna say, bro? Like that will go off in their mind, bro. What these niggas gonna say?
So
not like what you looking at, what you might be faced with, where you might be 10 years from. What these niggas gonna say?
Yeah.
Now this one is deep,
right?
Because this ain't necessarily all about insecurities, and you know where I'm going with this one. But what about our character makes us tear each other down so much, or makes us say something about somebody, critique somebody, say something about somebody here or whatever, and we don't even know them. They new to the equation, you know what I'm saying? And it's like, oh, they always this and that, and you haven't even taken the time to introduce yourself.
That might be outside influences more than anything. I think it's the outside. I think it's the outside, especially when you're around other people and they're doing it, then you tend to jump in and do it too. I don't think there's necessarily a case where somebody just does it and they're by themselves. Have you seen that? Have you seen that case where somebody's by themselves and they just start cheering down somebody they don't know? By themselves, not inside of a group.
I mean, it's got to be somebody listening.
Now
yeah, they
really
need to hear.
talking, because character really is who you are by yourself when nobody looking.
But the outside does influence your character.
Yeah.
From the outside, when you're with somebody on the outside, a lot of times the things that you would do inside your house by yourself, you wouldn't necessarily do outside with other people. So that's a character that you're playing when you're outside versus the character that you are when you're inside. Slick says smart character doesn't get likes.
All right, check this out. Example would be, I saw, like, let's just say 2 women who had BBLs just online posting themselves, right? And I was reading the comments and I felt bad for them based off what people were saying about them, bro. Like, I'm like, damn, man, y'all don't even know these people, man. And if they really looked at what they were saying, man, I'd hopped off from what I was seeing. I mean, first of all, they look like dudes. They, you know, all these negative ass words, you see what I'm saying? And I'm like, man, first of all, if that was my daughter, I'd be like, hold on, Jones. What you got going on? Like, you know what I'm saying? What's up, Sankofa?
What do y'all think? I think once you put it on social media, though, you're putting out there for the public to critique you. A lot of times you have women with these BBLs and these body shapings and these plastic surgery that think that they the bee's knees, and sometimes they're not. I mean, you just gotta be honest. And when you take butt first pictures and post them, you are bound to get critiqued because, to be honest with you, that is running thin. That BBL stuff is running real thin with brothers nowadays. We getting real tired of that.
And that would bring me to the next thing is like, what about these women, mainly character, which will make you want the surgery to get it?
Back to what he said.
Insecurity. Alright. But hey, man, I feel the same for a dude that want to get abs or whatever, or want a chest. Like, man, we ain't doing no silicones and no roids and none of that, man.
Do you think it's not? I'm finna hit you where it hurts.
What's
Do
up?
you think a person wanting to work out and get the abs and the chest is doing it because they're insecure? Or do you think it's Because it could be
So
both.
here's the thing. I'm doing it one.
Not
because,
you. I'm talking about someone else. I'm not talking about you. I'm just saying since you're doing it. Because it could be both. It could be I want to get healthy and feel better. But it also could be
So here's the thing. Here's the thing.
Or vanity.
I'm gonna tell you with me, I'm doing it because I don't want to be secure with being out of shape.
Okay.
See, so it ain't got nothing to do with being insecure. It's like I looked at myself one time, like I said, I couldn't see the belt, bro. That was enough. That was enough for me. So
that's where I'm at now. I can't see
the
belt.
So hey, but you know,
I'm
and
happy
also
with me.
though, but see,
There you go.
but see, when I really started talking it health, then people be like, that's a nut. They don't like me then. When I be like, but technically that's your stomach, and if your stomach is bloated like that, it's saying that you have something in you that you need to get out of you. You see what I'm saying? So that's also signs too. So I don't just also look at it as vanity. I look at it as it's like you checking yourself. You know what I'm saying? When you start seeing flab in certain places or stretch marks in certain places, man, tone that shit down. Simple as that.
Yeah, but I'm talking about besides you. Do you think other people have insecure issues with that?
Yeah, they do. And
like,
some people, yeah.
Okay.
Matter of fact, I give you some people grow beards because their face might be fat or they may have a triple neck. You know what I'm saying? It just depends on what they feel like their flaw may be that they can actually. Now, what I do like is if you can, like, growing a beard ain't bad. Like, that's natural. You know what I'm saying? Don't necessarily do something, I would say, cosmetic, surgery wise, that you can't necessarily take back unless it's probably for maybe a disability or it's an accident that happened that's beyond your control.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? But okay, so how can I say this? Do we take on the character traits of our parents or ancestors or, like, you know, great granddads and grandparents, you know what I'm saying? Or do you pretty much try to be your own person?
I think we do take on sometimes we take on our characteristics of our parents. Maybe I think it's dependent on the person who raised us. If our uncle raised us, it could be our uncle. If it's our grandparents raised us, it could be our grandparents. Because we are, as children, we mimic the person that we're close to and we love a lot. I mean, your daughter probably has your characteristics.
Some of them,
his daughter probably got his characteristics. You get what I'm saying? We don't see it yet, but when you get older, you're like, man, somebody will be like, he act just like. You know what I'm saying? So I think we all take on a little bit of characteristics of the person that we feel that loves us the most and that takes care of us. That's always going to be the case. Whether we grow out of it now or whether we see it or not is two different things. I think it takes the outside person to see it to say, you acting just like your dad. You acting just like your mama.
You know, if it's positive, I'm all with it. You know what I'm saying? Because not all of our parents had positive traits too. You know what I'm saying? As a matter of fact, I mean, I have some traits that ain't necessarily I consider I would want my daughter to have. You know what I'm saying? I shielded her from some of them. I say that, you know, but then again, for all I know, she could do something that I'd be like, hey, man, I wouldn't do that, or why you doing that? Right. But as long as her well-being is okay, and I know that her character is pretty much, you know what I'm saying, on a moralistic type code, I'm good with that. But I do want to know, speaking of that, is with all of this, like, religious and spiritual beliefs going around, how are we losing with so much of these, the positive aspects of character? Like, negativity seems to be more attracting or ruling to a degree. Not the people, you know what I'm saying, that I would say a lot of people that's listening to this, there are some positive pockets. But generally, if you're going public with it, it's going to be mainly negative a lot of times to allure us and attract us. So I'm like, man, if we got all these pastors and things and all of these spiritual beings and cults going on and groups and all of this, you know, why is negativity, you know what I'm saying, reigning supreme, especially at this time? And if we know, according to what this good book is supposed to be with the revelations and all of that, why are we hop, skipping, and jumping and moonwalking to the bullshit?
Because people don't believe in what they say they believe in. Most time people do that again for vanity, and sometimes people that are teaching them are teaching them improperly.
Right.
There's all different interpretations of the Bible, and sometimes the person who's teaching you is teaching you the wrong version, or teaching you the version that they believe that what it's saying. You think about how they say that the Bible says one thing and then it says something else. So what happens is you get a jumble up of different things and different aspects of religion that are not necessarily the truth. So, and we know for a fact that people don't ever do what they believe in. They never believe in it. They never follow any of the stuff that they believe in most of the time. You think if that was the case, it wouldn't be all this unalignment going on. It would be all this. It's
man.
They use religion to control us, bro. We
Clearly,
it's a control mechanism that they use to control us. It probably was written to control us. I'm not saying here or there, but it's all about control. It's all about making sure that we believe that if we do this, we're gonna go there. If we do this, we're gonna go here. You get what I'm saying? So it's just a control thing.
So, like I say, I remember one time,
Slick
man,
says always, it also has been translated many times.
I remember one time church was letting out. I bent this corner. I wasn't going to that church, I'll say, but so I bent the corner in front of this lady, and she shot me the bird coming out the church parking lot. I'm like, damn, lady, didn't you just get through serving? You know what I'm saying? The Lord, like, this is how you do it. Like, you ain't learned nothing, did you?
Right.
So I'm like, man,
that's your example, right?
that's what I'm saying. I'm like, wouldn't want to be in there,
But
not
even,
with you.
Even these days, bro, like the leadership is so flawed, man. And I think one of the most important aspects of character, bro, is walking in how you talking. You know what I'm saying? Like that's really number one. Not being a hypocrite. And when you look at some of these religious leaders or people in the conscious community, like the list goes on, bro, of people who don't walk it how they talk it. And they got millions of followers, bro. Like people don't care no more, man. It's really up out here, man.
So that leads me to with this then. The money and materials are adding value to our character, but not our deeds and actions. And to me, excuse my language, but that's fucked up. Meaning like you got a lot of people that got clout, they got power, they got positions, but they ain't got morals. You see what I'm saying? We giving people respect just because they got their bag, they can cut that check. I ain't never really been one like that. You know what I'm saying? Like, it is what it is. We all need money to survive.
Right.
But I'm not selling out myself, and I'm not selling out nobody. I'm not going to push the negative narrative to get some kind of money. Now, technically, see, here we go. Let me stop, because I think you know where I might go with it. Boy, but I'm the type of person, them type of people need to get popped upside the head and take from their pockets. That's how I do that.
Right.
But and give to the people that need it.
Right.
And you know what I'm saying? I think we need more people on the characteristics lines, I would say, of a Nat Turner, a Malcolm, as far as, because I think influence goes along with character. So right now, if you look at the influences we have, they either got on a jersey or a helmet, or they got a microphone and a beat behind them, as opposed to necessarily being in front of a podium or at a census or a forum with a particular suit ready to go for what we want. You see what I'm saying? And those same people are right there beside us. Like, what you need me to say when I go to this town hall? Matter of fact, you come with me and bring them too.
Right.
And this is what we gonna do, and this is what we gonna dress like, and this is what we gonna say, and this is what we gonna ask. We're not gonna let them ask each other all the questions and sit aside and just, you know what I'm saying? And then we're not gonna ask no question and that shit just bounce off the wall.
Right.
You know, when you be answering the intelligent questions, somebody try to sit you down. Oh, well, thank you for asking that question there, sir. Sit you down and then be like, okay, now, and then you be like, wait a minute, bro, what, it just went over your head? No, answer that.
Right.
You know, representation.
Right.
Because I'm like this, with the characters that we all have, or the characteristics that we all have right here, right? If we have somebody that's supposed to be representing us, that's supposed to be speaking on our behalf, if their characteristics ain't aligned with mine, you ain't speaking for me.
Yeah. I think a lot of times people who are chosen to speak for, I'm going to say the black community because I'm black, are not necessarily people that we choose. It's people that's chosen by the media. So their character flaws are going to be, and some of their stuff is going to be, agenda is going to be different from ours because they're not who we chose. That's just not who. I mean, we don't need more. We don't need more tissue paper in the black community. We need more jobs. You get what I'm saying? So our agenda is not going to align because we didn't choose those people. So we gotta. So now they're gonna keep putting them people up in front of the audience, up in front of the news cameras, up in front of everything. And we sit back looking at the news, going, "Who chose this motherfucker to speak for us?" Because we don't know them, and they just.
But here's the thing:
the media is pushing them on us.
Do we vote for some of these people or support some of these people, even though we don't choose these people? Cause I don't.
Right.
And then here's the thing: we ain't choosing some of these people that's behind these microphones rapping. That's just putting it out. You see what I'm saying? But we might be supporting it. I ain't supporting it, but other people are. You see what I'm saying? And then it's making algorithms, so it's gonna keep recycling. You know what I'm saying? Anytime somebody click on it.
Yeah, I think we support blindly because if we like the song, we just like the song. Just because we like the song, don't necessarily we going, I like this song and I want you to speak for the black community. That's just not what we do. If we like a song, we like a song. Just because we like it, don't necessarily we picking them to speak for us. I don't know how that goes hand in hand, or how that coincides with each other, and I don't know how that puts that person in front of the podium to speak for us. We just liking the song. They made a good song. Okay, great.
So to me,
Let's
that's
keep moving
like
forward.
That's kind of like you got a poisonous snake for a pet. You like snakes, but you're gonna get the poisonous one. So at any given moment, you might get done in by that. Like meaning, like if you like a song that's negative, you are old enough to understand it, but the youth, they gonna live that shit.
Right.
So now you have your mind might be you got the antidote because you got wisdom, but they're gonna be poisoned by it. Now technically you in their life, so you can know try to steer them, but they still got a bunch of them peers with characteristic traits and flaws and stuff like that because they trying to learn. That's gonna pretty much influence them more than you are.
One thing about a snake though, no matter which end you grab, it's still a snake. So it's like.
So we dealing. So what you saying then is we liking what snakes produce?
Most times, yes. Even if we don't think that it affects us in any way, it's still like you said. If it's being populated and being popular, it's affecting other people in a different way. We all are affected by certain things differently. But, like if a snake bites you, you may not. I mean, I don't know. Some snakes may not scare. I say scared. I not say bite. If you see a snake in your yard, you may not get scared. But if I see one, I might get scared. You know what I'm saying? We all are affected differently.
So here's the thing, though. But the way it is that you're right. We are all affected. But when that gets out there, right? All right. So let's say it'll like what affects me can also affect you sometimes, even if it's not directed towards you.
Right.
Like let's say you don't listen to it, but I do, and then I act on it. Or let's say I got bit by the snake. Obviously you didn't, but I can't make it tonight, so now I'm not doing anything, which affected this a little bit. So there's still kind of like a little snowball domino effect with all this stuff going on.
That's true.
Which is kind of like why I'm saying, man, if we don't necessarily have, we at least got to have balance then. If we can't stop that, we at least need to be able to juggle it and be like, hey, well, this is also popular in mainstream and it's positive. It's like you got either somebody drilling somebody or somebody telling you to pop a particular tablet that they don't even know what it's supposed to be.
Right.
So neither one of them is helping the youth at all.
Yeah, I think more conversations need to be had about that, and we'll get to that eventually, because I think that it does affect us, even us listening to it sometimes. Like I said, it affects us all differently. With us being older, we know better. At least we should know better. Now, we have some that don't know better or want to be part of the young crowd, but we know better. We know, hey, man, that's just radio. But like you said, the kids don't necessarily know better, or they do and just don't care. Like I said earlier,
so
they crashing out on some of this stuff. So,
but wouldn't you think, all right, so I look at some of this is by design then. All right, and the reason why I say that is because you had KRS-One during when I was growing up. He had songs like My Philosophy, Self-Destruction and all that with the self-destruction. He even had that Love's Gonna Get You. So letting you know you can slang a little something, but what's gonna happen to you when you do it. Okay, now hold up. KRS-One still alive. He's still up and doing his thing, right? But he's not mainstream. But check this out. Imagine if KRS-One's Love Gonna Get You hit like it did back then. Now they don't want that. Nobody wants wisdom from our elders into this game, because then now you can create a whole movement and a wave of things. Everybody who's speaking of something, who got some knowledge, who got some experience and some sense, gonna be talking through the music. Hey, youngster, this what's gonna happen to you when you do that. My partner's in a wheelchair from banging. Your partner get on there, they see that, they may be discouraged to do certain things. But you take the wisdom out of it and you keep nothing but watering down. Youth, getting younger. Then now you have the youth speaking to the youth raising the youth. But then what happens is the snowball effect is we're listening to this and we got to hear it every damn day. Now we know it. Now we old and we challenging and dancing and doing this ignorant shit right along with them because we think it's cute because the kids know it.
Right.
So
but wisdom in music it start fading out, and I don't get me wrong, I love this group, but when NWA came along, because you think about when NWA came along, it was a lot of KRS-Ones, Public Enemies, a lot of that type of music that was being pushed. It was a very popular trend, and a lot of us, I'm 54, so I was there at the beginning of hip hop. So when they were pushing that, we were all like, yeah, that's positive. We were trying to read the books and get the knowledge and be 5%ers and all that stuff. And I guess somebody said, we can't have them reading books, and so they start pushing different music.
But look, we went from wearing remember them African clothing with all the HBCUs. We went from that to Gucci.
Of course. This is a capitalism society. It's about selling. It's about you going to work and buying shit. It's not.
But if we did it before, we could do it again, can't we?
I don't know.
Why not?
It's gonna have to skip this generation and go to the next.
But we can't keep skipping generations because
we have to.
But okay, hold on. This is what happened when you skip a generation.
Some characteristics are more poison, and generations are more poisons than others. But if you start with the younger generation, the ones like his daughter's 5,
I can't skip.
He's bumping them books into
hold on.
She gonna be.
I can't skip a generation.
Like genius when she get old.
Because skipping a generation is almost skipping 80-something years. You see what I'm saying?
About 20 years.
It's 20 years. A generation is, but to me, could be like a lifeline.
Yeah.
Well.
Technically, like
because you just said on the show, a few shows back, these kids ain't listening.
But see, look, no, hold on. You skipped that, right? What those people learned in them 20 years, right? They're gonna get older, ain't they?
Yeah.
Okay, so you skipped that generation though. So now their elders, what they gonna pass on to the next generation if you skip them? Well, we skipping them. We ain't gonna be here. That's what I'm saying. You keep skipping things 20 more years, we might not have labs knowledge.
But how do you infiltrate and get the characteristics that you want of a generation that's not listening? We just said this. We said this earlier on other podcasts.
Hold on.
They are not listening
to us. You speak to them in a language that they can understand.
Okay, well, we're gonna have to have a show about that language.
Yeah, I don't know, man. It's a real nuanced conversation. You really can't say every young brother or sister ain't listening. And you'd be surprised, man, especially if you not trying to be like them and like you accepting your aunt role, you know what I mean? Like they'll listen. Sometimes it depends. Like a lot of it depends on your approach. But I think a lot of us are scared to approach. Conversation.
Do you think a lot of us are scared to approach to try to give them the characteristics?
I think a lot are. Yeah. To a degree. And I'm not necessarily just walking up on a group like, hey, brother, y'all read the word today? Like, you know what I'm saying?
Right.
That ain't finna fly. But I think you do have to kind of live in a way that people are drawn to. And when you do that, like, then you got more control over what's going to be said and how people receive things, especially if they seeking you out.
So I think basically what we would have to do, honestly, in a characteristic trait, you're going to have to understand you ain't going to be, you can't be in denial. You have to understand that everybody ain't going to make it. Everybody's not going to transition
to being positive.
Okay.
And see, with that's difficult to figure it out because you got the youth. You can't throw the youth away like that, but the youth trying to crash out. Not all of them, like you said,
not
though.
all of
Not
them.
all of them. But then the ones that are trying to crash out still endanger the ones that ain't.
Yeah.
Cause they innocent, but they'll go to the skating ring and rap.
I get you.
You know what I'm saying?
So I'm with you on that.
And or you'll have that one, she about her business, necessarily like a YN, and next thing you know, you see, or a brother, you know what I'm saying, trying to protect his sister, got to get in beef with this. It's just too many different variables that can happen. And I'm looking at it like this. One reason why I stand strong on this, man, why I ain't backing down on it is because as far as this music thing go and this characteristics we got going on with our rap, bruh, shit is trash.
Right.
Because I've done enough to know from basically when it started, looking at all of the drama that's happening, all of the court dates, all of the rape cases or grape cases, whatever, all these different, just all of the unalive cases and things like this, and just senseless flashing this and that, bruh. Like, it keeps continuously going. Like,
Right.
Go ahead.
They run into a dead end with this shit though, with this culture, bro. I think when you think of, especially like we'll say the past 3-5 years, like all these cases, all these brothers getting killed, like
Unalive.
it's unalive, yeah.
He new to the case. We're gonna just correct him.
Yeah.
He new to
Dang. This whole thing is imploding, bro. Like on some real stuff. And
But
like if you had to name a new rapper out of Atlanta, a young dude right now who got the streets on lock, who would you say?
so I'm not into that. Like, I don't know, but I do know you got some rappers that, you know what I'm saying. I forgot his name. He got Menace in it. Put it like that. A young dude, and he go around to high schools, and they like that. He crunk. I forgot his name, but man, this the thing that I'm saying. If you go back a week or maybe 2 weeks, you ain't even got to go back that far. Remember Buddy in Houston with his daughter at the car wash, a rapper. Okay, what, yesterday, a couple of days ago or whatever, you got Sauce Walker and his artists. Bam. I mean, it keeps happening. It keeps, you know what I'm saying? Like, this ain't stopping, bruh.
It ain't just the street stuff. I mean, it ain't just rap. Like, this is street stuff tied up in it, too.
Exactly.
But what I'm saying is, if you a young dude looking at this, some of these dudes, I really do think are like, bro, I'm finna find another way.
Anti-Menace, by the way. That's the dude.
Anti-Menace.
Yeah, you heard of him?
No, I have not.
Okay, well, look him up. A lot of young people like listening to that.
Slick says, lick this and suck that is all you hear on the music. These artists are being tried. They need to prove that they live how they say they live, so they're getting tried a lot of times.
Well, okay, I'll put it to you like this. A lot of them are actually doing the drugs that they rhyming about. And me being in that field, I can tell you that you ain't in your right state of mind, and you don't need to be doing these.
Right.
And the long-term effects of them going to destroy you. So with that being said, that being cool, we ain't never used to do it like that.
Right.
So, and I mean, I'm just saying, I don't recall anyone when I'm growing up, you know what I'm saying, in high school per se. Middle school, these be 13-year-olds, 11-year-olds and all this jumping off the porch with it. That's what I'm trying to get at. You see what I'm saying? Because it's a lot of them, more of them than I thought there were. Right. Bro, like, just look at these things. When they be getting these RICOs, man, they be indicting like 30-something folks with them. Like, where are these folks coming from?
My question is then, how do they get these characteristics? What made them want to jump off the porch at 13 with it and get RICOs? Because it's got to be someplace where it started them, where it influenced them to do these things and have these characteristics. They just didn't wake up. Then they just come out to shoot and be like, you know what?
Some of them do though. Yeah, they come out to shoot like that because the shoot they coming out of is already into it. Already mind gone or on some type of dope or banging too.
or just neglecting them, leaving them to be latchkey babies, and then they get into what they get into. Or go over your grandma's house, you too bad. Grandma can't do nothing with you. Now you over there with your uncle or your cousins, and they ain't doing nothing. Like, man, I mean,
so yeah, a lot of them came from us, basically, bro.
I wasn't condoning that, though.
Yo,
like,
now, not you as an individual, but I'm just saying, like, technically, their generation came from us. What's going on? A lot of them really did. And then, you know, we can't
the 13,
minimize.
16, I don't know, because I
We
got
can't minimize.
I got a 21-year-old.
I got a granddaughter that's
like
14,
I kind of beat
so
that. I kind of
grandson
beat
that's
that
15,
drill thing.
16.
Yeah. Like they like.
So I think it's coming from my children's generation. My youngest son is 34. My oldest son is 36. My daughter is 35. So you get what I'm saying? Like that generation, where we're finna be in, you know, you're finna be in your 50s. I'm already in my 50s. So I think it's not necessarily us it's coming from, it's from the generation after us.
Yep.
Wait, say that. So the kid, like the 20-year-olds out here crashing out, come from who?
It come from the next generation, our children.
It ain't
Our
coming
children.
from me. Mine ain't crashing out. But I'm saying the 13-year-old.
But we talking about these kids. I'm saying where they come from.
Right. That's what I'm saying. I know what you're talking about. I'm saying they coming from our children. So they are our grandchildren. Because you think about it, they call us, we 50.
But that's the thing. You don't know hardly because all that teen pregnancy and shit started popping off. So now you got babies raising babies. So the generations start fusing.
Slick said we are their parents.
Shit, they didn't have a 16 and pregnant after we graduated. That shit was on MTV.
So you trying to say like we ain't have teen pregnancy when we were coming up?
So when I was going to Southwest, hold on. When I was going to Southwest Middle School, I remember maybe 1 to 2 or 3. I only remember actually one girl that was pregnant. But what I'm saying is, after I graduated high school, I'm literally hearing and seeing 13-year-old young black women like, ooh, I want a baby. It was almost like a trend or a fad to have to want to have a baby, because these were 13-year-old girls and they mama like 26, 27 or something, and they grandma 30 or something like that, and they all partying, they all hanging out with each other and leaving them behind or whatever. So now they getting with old 16-year-old dude, whatever, and then they get knocked up. Them the ones that's having these jumping off the porch motherfuckers.
Wait, so that was back when? In the
Shit.
90s?
No, probably like...
You said you graduated and these 13-year-olds started talking
No,
like
so
that.
I said after I graduated, some say this is like 2000 and like maybe shit, probably like 2005 or 8 or something like that. Around that range. With all that shit.
I'm just saying, bro, like
I'm a little older
really
than y'all, so for me,
jumped off
when I came
around the 80s and 90s, bro.
When
like,
I came
real.
up in the 80s and 90s, actually, 80s and 90s, I was 14,
I didn't say
15.
it didn't exist. I'm saying
it wasn't seen as much. I'm gonna give you that. It existed, but it wasn't out there in your face. And if you were pregnant at that time and in that age as a teenager, you were most likely hidden until the baby was came.
Yeah,
I'm being 100%
I just know
honest.
so many grandparents right now, my age. Like
I
know grandparents that before they hit 40. Like,
right.
But do you know see, before they hit 40, bruh, then that mean you doing something in your, what, that mean what, the 20s?
That mean they were fucking and having kids when they were 15, 16.
Exactly. So
from our generation.
But what I'm saying is,
teen
hold
pregnancy
up.
done
But
went down.
no, what I'm saying is, I said, listen to our generation saw the Cosby Show, right? And our generation saw the Jeffersons and things like that. Am I correct? So we have some type of moral standard already before us. I mean, we ain't talking about all the Mac and
that
all
were
that.
living like the Cosby Show.
A lot of us was sitting up here buying these HBC things and wearing cardigans. Motherfuckers was dancing like Carlton and damn all of that.
A lot of us had a doctor and a lawyer for our parents. A lot of us.
I didn't, bruh. I said we watched the Cosby Show to see how life was. Was it a negative image? Is what I'm trying to get at.
What that got to do with teen pregnancy?
No. What I'm saying is we had image. Okay, so in other words, we wasn't passing that bullshit down to our kids.
But it was
even if they were
happening.
pregnant, we still had morals.
You know what it
we
is,
still
bro?
cut from the same cloth of Malcolm and
It
them.
was definitely happening.
It ain't happening like it's happening now in the early
You got
2000s.
stats
Okay,
for
so
that?
bro,
I think the
I can look up the
difference
stats. I can
Let's
tell
do
you
it.
this.
Let's do it.
Okay, look up.
'Cause that's
Hold up.
important.
Look up what year the Teen Pregnant in MTV came out.
Okay.
16 and pregnant. Because here's the thing: isn't that propaganda right there? Isn't that damn near promoting? You promoted the show. 16 and pregnant.
Between then and now is that it was happening when we were growing up, but it wasn't as popularized.
It wasn't
as
as
it is
many.
now. It's not. It wasn't as many in your. It wasn't in your. I don't know if it's more. I just know it wasn't
is
as
more.
prevalent as
Where
it
you
was
getting
now,
this
like
from?
in your face.
Eyeballing or statistics?
I'm getting it because, bro, I was in school with them. I ain't see no pregnant girls at school hardly. That's what I'm saying. How many pregnant women
So
did you
how
know
many-
when you were in high school?
So how many
Or when you
people?
were 16? That's all I'm saying.
If you saying that, then how many
You
people
did.
you know in high school pregnant now?
I'm not, man, bro. Okay, so here we go. All we have to do once again is you look at the scenario of you don't have to have statistics to see all these young people out here, bro. First of all, one of the
I'm
reasons
just
why I
saying-
know
I
is
ain't
because I
saying-
used to have to go to the daycare centers in Bowen Homes, Perry Homes, and go to the daycare center over off of Cascade. So I'm looking at this. I'm looking at when I'm younger and the age of the parents then, because my mom worked at these daycare centers and in the coordinated daycare centers. As I'm getting older, graduated before she retired, I'm in my 20s and I'm looking at the women that's coming in these daycare centers and these kids, and I'm looking at them much younger than they were when I was younger. So I'm seeing some of these things. I'm not gonna sit up here and say I got the statistics to look at it like this, because anyway, when you start bringing out statistics, people gonna say, "Oh, those are inflated," and those, you got them statistics from white folks or
I'm
from the folks
saying-
from like stuff like that. So
If we speaking anecdotally, like I can say, I know a bunch of teens that got pregnant. Like if you
Back
going
when
off
you
what
were in
you
high
seen,
school.
yeah.
They said
In my
they say that
neighborhood?
the decline has accelerated in the past decade. Teen birth rates dropped 20% from 1990 to 2000, 28% from 2000 to 2010, and 55% from 2010 to 2020. They say it's on a steady decline. It has declined over the last 30 years.
So that's what you gonna say. But okay, now look at all of these kids out here that are pregnant. That's okay. You can say that.
Like I said, I think the difference.
But is it for us though? What is that? Is it
I
all
think
across
that's
the
overall across the board? But I think
Okay, now look at it for us then, because
I
we're
think-
talking about us, and it's
we
probably
have
still
a
declining too.
disproportionate amount of teen pregnancies.
Because that's like I'm saying, all right, now this I would like to know: is it more of us as teens, pretty much in juvenile and prisons,
they said-
than it was back then?
teen pregnancy from 1990 to 2011 has dropped for black teens,
Okay.
has fell 59%. They said that from 222.7 per 1,000 to 93 per 1,000. So 93 people per 1,000 black teens are pregnant from a rate of 226 per 1,000 black teens. So they say that's a 56. That's a
But
58%.
93
decline.
people per what? 200
Per
what?
thousand.
Per thousand?
1,000.
But that's still kind of a lot of people when you have to raise a kid. 93, but out of 1,000, that's a low percentage.
Right.
But think about it though.
But compared to
It's
compared
less
to
than what was going on in the
226
80s and 90s.
per
though.
1,000 in 1990s.
Well, you might have to look at the contraception then, but what's the abortion rate?
Now, I don't know about that.
See what
'cause
I'm
I
saying?
don't
So,
get into that one. I don't think I don't see I think that's a myth too. I don't think black parents have abortions more than whites. I don't think that's the case. We can't see, that's the thing we can't get into. We can't be the ones on welfare, all the ones with deadbeat dads, and all the ones who getting rid of our kids. That just doesn't work that way.
Yeah,
it's just not
because
possible.
if we do have a
Right.
lot on there, then it
Right.
means you're having a lot of kids.
Right. So I'm saying
you're
so
not
it's
getting
that's
rid
not
of-
that's not the case. I think the difference what we're talking about, what we all talking about as a collective is that the teen black teen pregnancy happened when we were younger. It's just that it was hidden more. You didn't have 16 and pregnant. You didn't have social media. You didn't
the
have
promoting it.
Right. You didn't have kids just out on the street doing. I mean, I know girls that were pregnant that didn't come out all summer. because they were pregnant. They mama didn't want that. See, the parents back then had a stigmata. If your child was pregnant as a teen,
here we
that
go.
was an issue.
Here we go. All right. So they didn't come outside. Are they coming outside now?
Yes.
So why and how?
Because
What
they
happened
don't
to
have-
the
they
what
don't
happened to
necessarily-
what happened to the parents?
They were
We don't
What
have
happened
the
to
same-
the
we don't have
Okay,
the same
now, all right, now I
stigmata.
give you. You said they were outside. You said they weren't.
They were
But
outside.
now-
well, I'm from Chicago.
They was outside.
They wasn't
bro.
outside in
my
We was
neighborhood.
fucking. If we gonna put it,
Yeah,
put
yeah.
it
They wasn't
for
outside in
real,
my
our
neighborhood.
generation was fucking,
And
bro.
I know a few of them.
Clearly,
real.
but not everybody was getting.
Not everybody, no, but
And I knew a few who was pregnant on my block, in my neighborhood, within that 4 or 5 block radius, and you didn't see them. You knew it. You had an idea like,
Well, then-
where's Cheryl at? We ain't seen Cheryl all summer. Then Cheryl come out for the winter, and Cheryl got a baby. You get what I'm saying? Like, it wasn't something that they didn't skip to Malou to the store and be like, oh, I'm pregnant. Blah, blah. It wasn't. That wasn't going on in my neighborhood. Grandmama and them wasn't having you outside in the street embarrassing them because you done got pregnant at 16. It just wasn't happening. But now, I guess it is. And he said it was
man, I
happening.
think the dope game had a lot to do with it too. You know what I'm saying? A lot of these chicks was
See,
fucking
like
with
Slick
dope,
said, she
boy.
was pregnant.
Like,
And she wasn't allowed to walk with her graduation class.
I mean, all I'm
Because
hearing
they
is a
didn't
lot
want
of
that
people
image of
pregnant.
pregnancy going.
So,
And
I'm
she
just-
our age. She
so,
48,
I mean-
she 50. She just made 50. You know
So
what I'm saying? So
I'm just hearing a lot of people pregnant. So if you're pregnant as a teen, all I'm gonna say is, that's not necessarily ideal to be trying to bring a child in the world and raise them.
definitely not.
Your characteristics aren't even all the way in yet. Like you ain't even lived long enough to really realize who you are, because as you go from, we'll say, adolescent to a teenager, then to a young adult to a senior, you start developing different type of characteristic traits, sometimes based on your environment or based off your responsibilities as well. Because your responsibilities can determine what your characteristics are. Meaning, like if you got bills to pay but you always late, that's a characteristic trait that's gonna tell on you, and you may end up, you know what I'm saying, suffering from time to time or owing more money.
I disagree. It's not a characteristic. Sometimes people just can't pay because they don't have the money. I mean,
But-
you got to think about it. If we make it $15
Or
an
if
hour.
you showing up late. But hold
Yeah,
on.
because-
Okay. So you just don't have the money. What in you made you not have the money to pay
the
late?
job not paying me more than $15 an hour, and we know the minimum rental, the minimum
So
rent
did
in
you
Georgia
did
is
you
$1,600.
eat?
Huh?
Did you eat anything? What did you buy? What did you buy between now and the time your
A lot
bill
of
was
people
paid?
are not buying a lot of stuff. I mean, we
It's just some-
we can't necessarily say that they out splurging on Gucci when they make $15 an hour and they got $1,600
So-
rent, $400 coat, $400 or $500 condo, and children.
Remember I said I make sacrifice?
They sacrifice. They feeding their children. They not eating.
So here's the thing.
Would you? Let me ask you a
Okay, well,
question.
be late on
Would
your
you-
house.
Would
and
you?
then
Would
tell-
you? Now let me ask you a question.
Like I
now,
said,
both of y'all.
Mhm.
Would you, if you had money
Mhm.
and you had just enough to pay the rent or the mortgage,
Mhm.
and if you took $100 out, it will make you short, and you won't be able to pay it till another 2 weeks.
Mhm.
Would you say, hell with them kids? I'm gonna pay this mortgage. They gonna have to figure out something to eat. No, you going to feed your children.
What I would
We all
do
are.
is,
I
but
don't
here's
care
the thing.
how it makes me look as a characteristic.
You just-
I'm going to feed my
But
children.
here's the thing. See, you so gung ho on I want to feed my children. Part of your characteristic trait could just be to tell the people at the mortgage company what you want to do, and their characteristics may be like, you know what? I feel that's noble and let and go down. But
I
what
said
if
I
you
would
do?
be late.
But no. What if you were late all the time, right?
Okay.
All right, now that's a characteristic trait, right? So now you want to be late this time to feed your kids, but you laid outside in the cold because your shit gone now.
I don't know about that. But I get what you're saying. But
And being late to me, it's cool. You can consider that not a trait for whatever reason you want. But guess what it's gonna do? It's gonna come back and affect you in some kind of way. Either you're gonna have to have a late fee, or you're just gonna have to add that extra 100 on to what you already owe.
and trust me, all of us who be late, who has been
Don't
late,
give a
'cause I've
damn.
been late.
Yeah, I've
I've
been
been
late.
late. I ain't gonna-
I'm late. Nah,
I
baby.
had 3
It
children.
don't give a damn.
I had 3
See,
children
that's a
in
difference.
college and a wife. I've been late, and I knew the consequences of my late, and I still chose
But
to be
see,
late.
part of your character is you owned up to it.
Right.
You ain't in denial.
Right.
Shit,
I'm not.
I
no,
ain't
I'm
never.
not.
Yeah. But now, when I'm saying late, sometimes too, I mean promptness with someone else's time.
Okay. Okay,
that's a characteristic flaw.
Right.
If you gonna make me waste my goddamn time because you always late, I'm gonna call you on it, and that's part of your character.
Okay, I give you that one.
Oh, you
I'm
right.
big
I
on
will.
time.
I've been
Well,
here,
I know he be on time.
I've been here waiting on podcasts and started to be 15, 20 minutes in, and they ain't got here yet. So I get it.
Oh, you do, but has that happened with me?
Never.
Okay, all right.
That's
All right.
solid.
So another thing.
Slick say those people paying bills late just cause George came out.
That's a bad characteristic trait right there, though, Slick. Thank you. See, Slick got my back. Yeah, Slick. I knew Slick was gonna find a loophole for me. I appreciate that, though.
Right.
But a negative. I got a few negative characteristic traits, and then obviously I got some positive ones too. But violence is a negative one. Like choosing that rather than, you know what I'm saying, trying to have some type of resolution or just being calm or having a way first to try to calm down and maybe see it another way. Dishonesty, like lying, those are negative. That's a negative trait to me. And being inconsiderate, like, and that can go for another person's feelings, another person's materials, another person's time. Just being an inconsiderate type of person. That's a trait I don't necessarily like. Positive traits though are kind, being kind to someone, being generous, like being able to give. You know, that actually makes both people happy. It should, you know what I'm saying, depending on what you're giving them, honestly. And being punctual, that's a trait that I like. And organized. A lot of us aren't organized.
Yeah, I could work on that.
I'm
Me
very
too.
organized.
See, I'm not necessarily that organized. I keep it all in my brain what I need to be doing, but I do need to be writing it down. And like this to me ain't really organized how I have this. There's some people that'll probably have, you know what I'm saying, on a laptop or something, or have it in a folder or something. I'm gonna work on that. You know what I'm saying? I'm just old school, pen, paper, and whatever. But organization is definitely a great trait to have. What about you? And you guys have anything you want to add as far as characteristic traits? You know what I'm saying, that you appreciate in someone, or that some things may need to change that you see negative.
Honesty, loyalty, and faithfulness. I'll give those three characteristic traits. And I think it goes a long way to a long lasting friendship, relationship, any kind of ship, really. Those three traits. Because if you're just honest with me, regardless of hurt my feelings or not, I ain't got no reason, you know what I'm saying, to think that everything you call out your mouth is a lie. While you talking, I ain't gotta say this motherfucker lying.
Hey, with that, you know, okay, so you guys, do y'all like, as far as characters, heroes or villains?
It depends.
A villain,
like in the movies and stuff. Or
I'm a villain role person. I like somebody who can.
And the reason why I'm saying, because, you know, villains obviously are characters, but, you know.
Who's some of your favorite like movie characters? Or
with, like, characteristic, what trait of the villain did you like?
For me, like I've watched a show called Billions. I don't know if y'all ever watched that on Showtime.
I've seen some of it. I know
and Axel, he's a villain, but he has good characteristic traits too sometimes. And I just love his character. I just love how he could be ruthless. Like he say, you know, what's the point of having fuck you money if you can't tell people fuck you? You know what I'm saying? Okay. I'm just that type of person. Like I want to be. Not want to be, but I feel like if I had that type of money, I would be that type of person. You just don't have to worry about it. You don't have to, you know what I'm saying? You don't have to stress over things. So I like that. I like when Batman shifted to the Dark Knight. I mean, you know what I'm saying? I'm a comic book person. I used to read comic books when I was younger with my uncles and them. So I like Wolverine. He's more of a villain than a hero sometimes, you know. So I like when Jean Grey turned to the Phoenix.
I'm gonna tell you a character. This is a particular show.
We all like Scarface and The Godfather. I'm
gonna tell you a character that I think is interesting, and I like for different reasons. But Dexter,
I never seen
it. And like he wanted
Is he a killer? Like
he's an unaliver.
But I keep saying,
that's okay, bro.
Picture your worst enemies lined up doing crimes and getting away, and then somebody like Dexter goes and hunts them down and does what he does to them.
Yeah, I ain't never seen it, bro.
You ain't never seen
Yeah,
Dexter?
so it's based like it's like, you know, criminals to get away. They do some shady ass shit. You know what I'm saying? All the type of crimes that you wouldn't want done, and they get off with some kind of technicality. And Dexter goes and hunts them and gives just vigilante justice pretty much.
I got you.
You know, I kind of like characters, man, like that conspiracy, like detective type characters, man, that debunk a lot of things.
Bourne, I like Bourne.
Jason Bourne.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Yeah.
I like characters like, kind of like, what's that dude named Thomas Crown type shit. You know what I'm saying? Like slick type stuff you can get away with. It's like you enjoy manipulating. You know,
like Ocean's 11.
That type of stuff, man. Like they be like, damn, man, didn't I just have that diamond right there?
Yeah.
And I'm like, let me get this money and give it to the people that really need it because I just took it from you. That type stuff, man. I like those. Kind of like you. They would be considered a villain till they do something heroic.
Right. I'm with that.
Yeah.
The anti-hero.
Right.
That's kind of what took off in the media. Like,
well, I mean, now heroes aren't bad, but I just look at it like I ain't talking about characteristics with superheroes. So, I mean, you know, well, like I say, my heroes are actually walked at one point, which would be like a Bob Marley. When we were mentioning music and stuff like that, I was like, man, that's still timeless. And imagine someone coming out and taking his same message and doing it in a different genre. It ain't always got to be rap. You know what I'm saying? Singing R&B or singing blues or whatever. But yeah, the Angela Davises and all of those. You know, the A-Traps. You know, the ones that's forgotten about.
Right.
Them the kind that I like because what they considered villains, but they not.
Okay. You got a list?
Oh. What's my man name? Damn, I forgot. What's his name? No, go ahead. I gotta remember this.
I like gangster movies, bro. I like young Vito Corleone.
The young one. So Godfather 2.
Exactly.
Okay. I love Godfather 2 too. When he
Robert
was younger.
De Niro.
Yeah. He take care of the neighborhood.
Man, he was solid.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? He did what he had to do.
Right.
Kept it to himself and built up an empire. So he's up there. Just, you know, as far as character. And I see why people say, when I was young especially, I like Tony Montana. And he did have some principles. I think that's why a lot of people, you know, fuck with him because he did have his own line he went across. You know what I'm saying? Like no women, no kids.
Right,
you know?
right.
And I'm serious about that.
Right.
Like,
he was dead serious about it.
He was dead serious about it.
Yeah.
So I get why. And he was just hungry. So
right.
we can relate to that.
Yeah, Slick say I'm with Trillion.
There was some people that come to mind.
Yeah. Okay, you trying to get the name out?
Oh, nah, I'm gonna do it. No.
Okay.
I don't want to get nobody in no trouble anyway.
Okay.
So, but yeah, man. So, it's funny with characters. I'm gonna have to be some characters coming up. I'm actually writing scripts for characters now. So some of it I'm trying to see, like, if I take from life experiences, you know what I'm saying, and put it into my work. But right now the genre that I'm working on would be comedy. So it's interesting to a lot of shit I was doing wasn't funny. You know what I'm saying? So, I'm just saying. So I'm trying to pull from some of it that was, you know, and write roles for people doing that.
Okay.
But we getting to that point, you know what I'm saying? I was telling at the beginning of this, we wasn't gonna have no word of the days today. We wasn't gonna have no thought of the day. We ain't doing no snacking around or none of that. This was a good topic. So I wanted to pretty much use all the time we had on that. I did do a shout out, although, like I said in the beginning to my BBG folk. So we're gonna keep that, you know what I'm saying, that exercising and keep that challenge going. And funny that like it takes a particular type of character or characteristic and trait to want to do this and do it damn near, you know what I'm saying? Like we not boxing, I'm not finna go hoop, I'm not finna go play no sport, you see what I'm saying? So this is basically for the mind and the body.
Right.
You know, for health purposes, for longevity, for stamina, for circulation, trying to avoid osteoporosis, you know, trying to keep your muscles having elasticity and avoid atrophy. So when we talk these things, we're not always just trying to be like, oh, I'm doing this and you can't. You know what I'm saying? No, it's a lot of benefits that's coming from this. And like I say, I'm talking about it now, but give me that 6-month mark from this challenge and you'll see, I probably broke out and start doing some exercises on this shit for you. But I brought the weight last time, you know what I'm saying? But we're going to end it on that, man. I appreciate Johan Say for coming through.
I appreciate you. Hey, real quick, bro, I just want to say, speaking of character, like he talked about doing this podcast, but it's been over a year. I remember him telling me about it. He was talking about it for months, and then he started doing it. And he been consistent with it.
Most definitely.
So that's solid to me. So I'm finna give you your flowers, bro. Like
oh
that's,
man, I
that's
appreciate
real
that.
character.
Appreciate that.
Right,
Appreciate that. But see, I'm gonna tell you another thing, though. See, we always have these manifestation talks. So, Lab, I was watching, and you were like looking at me and Hanse, look at each other, and we talk like this, and and he's an influencer to me. He motivates me as well. And the funny thing is, talking and I was like, yeah, you're gonna be on the show at some point, bro. You always welcome.
It took long.
So now
though,
he
bro,
here.
for sure,
You see what I'm saying? So I'm letting all my listeners and viewers know that he's always welcome. And he got a spot to come. So them his flowers right there. Like a lot that this man has been talking to me about in my parking lot sometimes I say and repeat it to y'all.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? So
he
definitely got a good
definitely
aspect.
added some depth to the show.
Oh yeah. Oh bro, he definitely got some different depth that I need. You know what I'm saying? So we're gonna end it on all that, man. And I appreciate y'all.
Appreciate you, Loud.
No problem, bro. I appreciate me. You did a great job.
Likewise, brother.
He talking about you gonna be nervous. I was like, when the nervous is gonna come in? When he gonna be nervous? He just jumping in there because generally this is just a conversation. We all spreading our views. And I tell people all the time, speaking of characters, when people come and do podcasts, the first thing I tell them is, look, be yourself. Don't be no character. Because people are not going to gravitate towards a character. You need to just be yourself, your views off top of your head, and talk about what you want to talk about. That's it. That's what this platform is for. And a lot of people have a little bit of time getting into it, but once they realize that I could just be me, that's what they do.
So
Well,
you said a lot more. That's what I'm glad.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? I thought you were just gonna be chilling and observing, but I got you talking.
I appreciate it.
All right, we'll be back next week.
Yeah. Grams leaders CC's pounds. Close cash, close call, close encounter, close up, pounds of leaders of grams, get your dose up, cut this up, post up, and get dosed up. This for them voted like the movement, make the most of. Monday night at 8, I can't wait to set you straight. These opinions and debates, for them folk that can't relate. I gotta elevate your mind through these signs of the time. Dishing out that medication for that death, dumb and blind. And I ain't hard to find, you can catch me in no trenches. I do the groundwork and I ain't waiting on no sense. I be touching on them topics politicians fail to mention. And I don't vote for nobody that ain't got good intentions. I'm relentless for my people and I'm here to make a change. I got that true serum hooked directly to your vein. Hey, this is for my people, tune in, catch it close up. Close up, close up, a close up, grams of it. Tune in, liters of it, close up, pounds of it, yeah, grams of it.